A woman can like you, enjoy your attention, even feel attracted to you, and still never truly let you into her heart. But when her feelings become deep, something changes. Not dramatically. Not always with big romantic speeches. Sometimes the strongest signs are hidden inside the smallest moments. The way she remembers something you forgot you told her. The way your mood affects hers. The way she starts protecting a connection that nobody else can even see. And one of the strongest signs is something most men completely overlook. Because real love doesn't only change how someone treats you when everything feels good. It changes how they behave when things become uncomfortable. Here are 7 behaviors that often appear when a woman feels deeply emotionally connected to a man, and the last one may completely change the way you recognize genuine love. Number 1. She remembers the tiny things you never expected her to remember. You casually mention that you hate tomatoes on burgers. 3 weeks later, food arrives. She removes them before handing you the plate. You tell her once that you have an important meeting on Thursday. Thursday morning, your phone lights up. Good luck today. That seems small. It isn't. Because attention is one of the quietest forms of emotional investment. When someone becomes important to us, our brain naturally gives their words more emotional weight. Small details stick. Not because we are consciously memorizing them. Because we care about the person attached to them. Think about the difference. Someone who is casually interested may remember your birthday. Someone deeply connected may remember why you hate celebrating it. She remembers the song you played in the car. Your weird coffee order. The story about your childhood friend. The thing you're insecure about but pretended didn't bother you. Those details become pieces of you. And when someone loves you deeply, those pieces matter. But memory alone doesn't prove love. The next behavior goes much deeper. Number 2. She wants access to the real version of you. Attraction can survive on mystery. Love usually wants truth. When a woman becomes emotionally invested, she may stop being satisfied with the polished version of you. She wants to know what happens when the confidence disappears. What scares you? What makes you shut down? Why certain things trigger you? What you secretly want from life. She may ask questions nobody else thinks to ask. Not because she is interrogating you. Because she is trying to understand your inner world. Imagine you've had a terrible day. You tell everyone else, "I'm fine." She looks at you for a second longer and says, "Know what actually happened?" That moment matters. Because deeply connected people often notice emotional shifts before words explain them. Your silence feels different. Your energy feels different. Even your text messages feel different. And she wants to know why. But there is something important here. Healthy love does not mean forcing someone to reveal everything. Emotionally mature connection respects boundaries. The difference is that she creates a space where you eventually feel safe enough to reveal yourself voluntarily. And when a man realizes he doesn't have to perform strength every second around someone, that is when emotional intimacy becomes powerful. Number 3. Your happiness genuinely matters to her. There is a huge difference between wanting someone and wanting good things for someone. Watch carefully. When she deeply cares, she may become genuinely excited about things that don't directly benefit her. Your promotion. Your fitness progress. Your business improving. A personal goal finally working. Even something small. Maybe you've been talking about buying something for months. You finally get it. She seems almost as excited as you are. Why? Because your happiness has emotionally become part of her world. This is where healthy love separates itself from possession. Possession says, I want you close to me. Love often says, I want to see you become everything you're capable of becoming. Sometimes that even means supporting decisions that temporarily require sacrifice. Long work hours. A difficult career move. Studying for something. Changing unhealthy habits. She may miss your attention. But she still wants your growth. That is a different level of attachment. And there is another subtle sign. She notices when you stop believing in yourself. Maybe you're frustrated. Nothing seems to be working. You start saying things like, maybe I'm just wasting my time. And instead of feeding you empty motivation, she reminds you who you were before the disappointment. That matters. Because sometimes the person who loves you sees your strength while you're temporarily unable to see it yourself. But love isn't tested most clearly by success. It's tested by conflict. Number 4. She tries to repair the connection after disagreements. Pay attention to this one. Anybody can seem loving when everything is easy. The real test often appears after misunderstanding. After disappointment. After anger. After someone says the wrong thing. A woman who is emotionally invested may get upset. She may need space. She may disagree with you strongly. But if the relationship matters deeply, one pattern often appears. She eventually moves toward repair. Maybe she sends a message. Maybe she asks to talk. Maybe she explains what hurt her instead of simply disappearing. Maybe she says, I'm still upset, but I don't want us to stay like this. That sentence carries weight. Because emotionally healthy love is not the absence of conflict. It is the desire to protect the connection while solving the conflict. There is a massive difference between fighting to win and fighting to understand. One destroys closeness. The other can actually deepen it. This doesn't mean tolerating disrespect. It doesn't mean accepting manipulation, insults, or unhealthy behavior. Sometimes love requires boundaries. Sometimes love requires distance. But when two emotionally mature people care deeply, the goal eventually becomes the same. Not, how do I defeat you? But, how do we stop this problem from defeating us? That mindset tells you more about love than 100 romantic posts online. And the next sign is even quieter. Number 5. She naturally includes you in her future. Listen to the words people use when they feel deeply connected. At first, it's, I want to visit Italy someday. Then slowly, we should go there someday. At first, I might move into a different apartment next year. Then, what neighborhood would you want to live in? It happens subtly. You begin appearing inside future conversations. Trips. Holidays. Plans. Goals. Even boring things. Furniture. Family gatherings. Where to spend weekends. What kind of dog would make sense? The future begins shifting from me toward us, and often, she doesn't even notice she is doing it. That's what makes it powerful. Because we mentally place important people inside the future we hope to experience. Someone can flirt with you intensely without imagining you 6 months from now. But when emotional attachment deepens, your presence may become part of her mental picture of life. Not because she is desperate to lock things down. Because imagining future happiness without you starts feeling incomplete. Still, there is an even deeper sign. One that many men misunderstand. Number 6. She becomes protective of your dignity, not just your attention. This doesn't mean jealousy. It doesn't mean controlling who you speak to. It means something more emotionally mature. She cares about how you are treated. If somebody humiliates you, she notices. If you're being taken advantage of, it bothers her. If you're exhausted and everyone keeps asking you for more, she may be the person saying, "You need to rest." And she may protect your vulnerabilities too. You tell her something personal. Something embarrassing. Something painful. Later, during an argument, she could use it against you. But she doesn't. That is powerful. Because one of the purest forms of emotional safety is knowing your vulnerable moments will not become weapons later. Anyone can protect your secrets when they're happy with you. Character appears when they are angry with you. A woman who truly respects and loves a man often understands that intimacy creates responsibility. You gave her access to a softer part of yourself. She doesn't punish you for trusting her. And men should offer the same protection in return. Because deep relationships are built when both people know, "My weakness is safe in your hands. Now here is the final sign." And it may be the most important one. Number 7. She chooses you even when choosing you requires effort. Feelings are easy when the relationship is convenient. Love becomes visible when inconvenience enters the room. Maybe you're sick. Maybe work is overwhelming you. Maybe the relationship is going through a difficult season. Maybe distance makes things harder. Maybe you're not as charming, energetic, or entertaining as usual. A casually interested person may slowly disappear when the emotional reward decreases. Someone deeply connected often leans closer. Not because she has no boundaries. Not because she should tolerate endless problems. But because your value to her isn't limited to what you can provide in your best moments. Picture this. You're usually the strong one. The calm one. The person handling everything. Then life hits you hard. For once, you're not impressive. You're tired. Quiet. Lost. Maybe even embarrassed by how badly you're handling things. And instead of looking at you differently, she sits beside you. No performance. No lecture. No dramatic speech. Just presence. That kind of presence is rare. Because infatuation often loves the experience someone gives us. Deep love begins loving the person underneath the experience. But there is something men need to understand. None of these signs should become a checklist you use to interrogate someone's feelings. People express love differently. Some are expressive. Some are quiet. Some show love through words. Others through consistency, loyalty, time, touch, service, or simply staying emotionally present. What matters is the pattern. Over time, does she become more invested in understanding you? Does she care about your growth? Does she protect the bond instead of constantly threatening it? Does she make room for your humanity? And just as importantly, do you do the same for her? Because the strongest relationship question is not, "How do I know she loves me?" It may be, "What kind of man does someone feel emotionally safe loving deeply?" That question changes everything. Because when you stop obsessing over extracting proof of love and start becoming capable of giving mature love yourself, you notice something surprising. Genuine love rarely needs to scream. It reveals itself quietly. In remembered details. In repaired arguments. In protected vulnerabilities. In future plans. In difficult nights when leaving would have been easier. And maybe that is the deepest truth about love. The people who love you most are not always the ones who make the biggest promises. Sometimes they are simply the ones whose actions keep whispering the same message: I still choose you.